Humm, baby.
Enjoy this great game.
2-2 to Shemps. Chris swings and misses, strikes out. The game is over. Nolan Ryan wins his 12th game of the season.
Throughout much of baseball history, the objective of a starting pitcher was to record 27 outs, while ensuring that the opposing team scores as few runs as possible. This was the goal of a starting pitcher for more than a century. The better pitchers of the game nearly always finished what they started. Cy Young, for example, started 815 games in his career and completed 749. That is 92% of his starts. Obviously, the game has evolved, and the role of the relief pitcher became very important very quickly. However, even into the 70s, starting pitchers expected to finish the job. In 1978, there were more than 1,000 complete games in the majors, with Mike Caldwell of the Milwaukee Brewers leading the league with 23 complete games. In his entire 14-year career, in which he never made an All-Star team, Caldwell still completed 98 games, nearly 4 times as many as future Hall of Famer Clayton Kershaw, despite starting 85 less games. It was not unusual for stars of the 60s and 70s to complete more than 20 games per season. Cardinals legend and Hall of Famer Bob Gibson, who pitched from 1959 to 1975, completed 53% of his career starts. What is even more amazing is he did so while staying healthy, pitching at least 195 innings in 13 out of 14 seasons. The league leader in innings pitched in 2021, Zach Wheeler, pitched just 193.1. Even into the 80s, starters continued to complete a decent percentage of the games they started. In 1985, for example, Bert Blyleven led the American League with 24 complete games, just 2 less than 2022 Cy Young Award winner Justin Verlander has in his entire career. In 1986, Fernando Valenzuela led the National League with 20 complete games. This continued throughout the 80s and even into the 90s, with pitchers like Greg Maddux, Randy Johnson, and Pedro Martinez typically completing around 10 games per season. But in 1991, for the first time in Major League history, a league leader in complete games did not hit double digits. Tom Glavine and Dennis Martinez tied for the National League lead with just 9 complete games. Still a lot compared to the tiny numbers that we see today. In fact, the complete game numbers continued to shrink and shrink until finally, in 2017, no pitcher in the National League completed more than 2 games. In the American League, Corey Kluber and Irvin Santana tied for the lead with 5 each, a number that has not been matched since. In fact, from 2018 through 2021, and so far into 2022 as well, no pitcher has completed more than 3 games in a season. If the art of completing a game is not dead, it is certainly on life support. One of the only ways starting pitchers can keep themselves in a game is to throw a no-hitter or a perfect game. John Means, for example, has started 65 games in his big league career and has just 1 complete game. It was a no-hitter. If he did not have that no-hitter going, he certainly would not have been allowed to complete the game. In fact, it's at a point now where even pitchers working on no-hitters and perfect games get yanked anyway. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts is notorious for this and has pulled Walker Buehler, Ross Stripling, Rich Hill, and Clayton Kershaw while they had a no-hitter or perfect game going. And it isn't just the Dodgers. Sean Manaea and Blake Snell of the Padres have also been pulled while working on no-hitters. The most frustrating example might be Corbin Burns, who threw 8 no-hit innings and just needed 3 more outs to complete the magical no-hitter. But to his horror, he was replaced by Brewers closer Josh Hader after 115 pitches, leaving every baseball fan in attendance completely mortified. So now, to answer the big question, why? Obviously, in the earlier days of baseball, managers realized that if a starting pitcher became too fatigued, was just not being effective, perhaps bringing in a fresh relief pitcher was best for the team. It was simply a matter of relieving the starter, who did not have much more to offer, with someone who could effectively get outs. Although that does happen today, it's not the only reason starters get replaced anymore. Today, starters get replaced because of 2 words.
Pitch count.
Pitch count became popular in the 2000s in order to keep pitchers healthy throughout the season in their careers, and for some reason teams seem to look at 100 pitches as the magic number across the board with just about every starter, even though technically there's nothing special about this number other than it ends in 2 zeros and looks cool. It's an arbitrary figure, and it doesn't seem like front offices went into very deep calculations and studies to come up with that number as the number that pitchers should be allowed to throw. Furthermore, every human is different with different arm angles, strength, flexibility, size, injury history, not to mention not every pitcher throws equally as hard. Nevertheless, 100 seems to be the magic number. According to Max Scherzer, they're really holding starters down to 100 pitches and not letting you go past that. If you do, maybe you get to 110, but you rarely see guys get to 120 anymore. If an inning takes 15 pitches, you get to 105 after 7, that's about all you get. Furthermore, front offices today more than ever before want to control the entire game, every aspect, with a plan from the first to the last out. They have their lefty specialists, setup men, closers, ready to handle the final 3 to 4 innings. Completing a game is just not part of the equation anymore. Starters are not expected to do it, and even if they are willing, ready, and able to, they will get taken out anyway. It's very important to note that this happens throughout the minor leagues as well, so pitchers can never build the arm strength and stamina needed to complete 10, 15, 20 games per season. The San Francisco Giants 2021 draft pick Will Bednar, in 12 starts this year for Class A San Jose, has averaged less than 4 innings per start. Tigers manager AJ Hinch said, "We have a way of trying to evolve an industry that's taken a little bit out of the machismo that goes with a complete game. I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but it's part of the evolution of analytics being applied at a higher rate across the board." Interestingly, limiting pitch count to limit injury hasn't seemed to help much with that issue, despite this modern day and age with the pitch count, analytics, advanced training techniques, better nutrition and diet. Despite all that, you don't need any advanced studies to figure out players get injured today more than ever. I don't know the answer to limit these injuries, but I'm not sure the 100 pitch count is it. The lack of complete games has been bad for baseball in my opinion, as we no longer see amazing pitching duels that go into the 9th inning. We rarely see shutouts, which by definition will also go extinct along with the complete game. And even no-hitters and perfect games, which still happen from time to time, will eventually go away as more managers don't care and pull pitchers anyway because of the dreaded
Pitch count.
Someday soon, we will all likely live to see a season where every player will tie for the league lead in complete games with 0. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope that you completed this video despite the high
Pitch count.
We will talk to you next time.